I would like to tell the story of the best experience I ever had in a movie theater. It was my second R-rated movie, and I was only 16 years old. My first one was Brother Solomon, and I thought it was hilarious when I saw it for the first time, and the second and third time, and kind of lost its appeal to me. But whatever. I mean, it was good when I saw it. The second movie that I saw that was rated R in theaters, I purchased a ticket for, and they did not card me. They did not ID me. And to put that in perspective, usually that means that it's a movie where they sell so little tickets for, in my opinion at least, I don't know if that's actually how it works, but they sell so little tickets for that they're like, okay, go on in. Here's your ticket. If you're willing to purchase a ticket to this piece of crap, then have at it. We're not going to ID you for anything because the movie, you'll find out pretty quick, it's not very good. My grandma told me that there was a huge line when she went to see Knocked Up in theaters. There was a huge line and they were IDing everybody. My grandma was pushing 80 at the time, and she still got carded, and that's just ridiculous. Not so the case for Stephen King's The Mist, which is the movie that I'm about to talk about. So here I am, 16 years old, sitting in a movie theater and watching this. I really love horror movies now. At the time, I hadn't really seen too many. So this was kind of a cool experience. I usually don't see horror movies, and I went to go see it, and they let me in, and that was really cool. And so I was watching it. I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this movie, and there's this character who was so annoying. If you've seen the movie, I don't care about spoilers because A, it wasn't that good, and B, it's been like 7 years since that movie came out, so who gives a crap? There was this character who kept on saying, it's you guys' fault that we're trapped in here and there's supernatural creatures out there. It's you guys' fault. This is God getting back at you because you ignored God's will. It's your fault because you guys just completely blew off God's attempts at trying to better the world and all that blah, 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 whatever Christians say. I don't know. I used to be a Christian until my dog is here. She wants to be petted. I have food nearby. Anyway, so this lady is sitting there freaking out, and finally, at one point in the movie, they have a gun. And somebody gets that gun, and somebody shoots the bitch right in the forehead, and she dies. This is pretty cool. I've never seen an R-rated movie, an R-rated horror movie in theaters. And she dies. She gets shot. Everybody in the theater stands up and starts clapping, except for me. Because I'm 16, I'm a little bit nervous about, being spotted. I'm just like, everybody else is clapping. If I stand up, they'll know that I'm short. They'll know that I'm only 16 years old. They won't. I'm not going to be able to stay in here. So I just kind of sat still, and I looked around. I saw that everybody was clapping. Everybody stood up. A standing ovation. Crazy bitch dies. Let's all stand up and clap. Which to me means one of two things happened. Either A, somebody was sitting there and just kind of nudged their buddy. They're like, hey, did you see? This is my friend, by the way. This is Monte Teo's girlfriend and I are hanging out. I just nudged his friend, and he was like, hey, man, that was pretty cool. I think we should stand up and start clapping. And so everybody stands up, then he kind of nods at everybody else, and everybody else starts standing up. And then all of a sudden, everybody in the theater, except for me, is standing up and clapping. Now, that's one scenario that went through my head. The other one, also very unlikely. I'm sure that it was just a spontaneous thing, and that other people knew, hey, we've been to R-rated movies before, let's all stand up and start clapping. So everybody else, possibly, this is my other theory, is that everybody stood up, or that everybody had seen the movie prior. They had all gotten together, And they all got together. They had a meeting afterwards, all friggin' 25 of them, and they never met before. They're like, hey, we gotta talk. This just happened, and we missed a prime opportunity. We didn't stand up and clap when that bitch died. We need to go back in there, all of us, collectively. We need to spend another $10 on a bad movie because we missed an opportunity of a lifetime. So then everybody got back together and came back into the theater, and I was the plus one. I was the one that hadn't been there before because, I'm 16. And then everybody around me, they're all like, hey, here comes the part, and then they all get together, and then they look at each other, and then they're like, we're gonna do this, and then they all stand up and start clapping, and then the 16-year-old kid is just sitting there wondering what's going on, if this is what happens in R-rated movies all the time, and they're like, I don't know, but anyway, they're all excited. They got to do their thing. They got to do their favorite thing, which was standing up and clapping in an R-rated movie when they killed Crazy Jesus Lady. And that was probably the best experience I've ever had in a theater to this day. But I'm only 23, so I'm sure I got plenty more comments.